There's about to be some nerdery going on around here. This is your warning. Ain't nobody gonna be wearing no black rubber gloves. Ain't nobody gonna be holding components in tweezers. Let's play with a few devices. Now this is a gadget I am definitely excited about. Not necessarily the gadget itself, but what it may allow me to do. This is the T-LoRa pager. Little icon that tells you the USB-C is right there, power button is there, boot button is there, and the reset button is there. So this really reminds me of the pagers that I wanted when I was a younger man. They were all the rage, so there's a little bit of a nostalgic throwback effect to this pager. On the bottom are 3 buttons: on, off, reboot, and reset. Let's turn it on. There's the Lily Go splash screen, and it goes right to a test firmware that lets you see that this thing is capable of multiple functions. A menu-driven software can be written for this. GPIO pins are brought out at this point right here on top, and they even send you a little pin header that you can attach. And you can put a daughter board or a shield on there. This unit has a QWERTY keyboard, 2.3-inch long screen, U-Box GPS, right about there I believe, RFID, NFC, and RTC circuitry. So if you put an NFC tag, some of you don't know what that is and you don't care, but if you put an NFC tag down there, you can have this unit read it for you and maybe perform some function. There's a microphone, a speaker, and a headphone jack. This encoder right here also functions as a button. One of the neat things I find is I can leave my Bluetooth keyboard at home and use this to work with my projects that need a keyboard. Built-in IMU. Oh, maybe you can see that. The little figure in the circle is showing pitch, roll, and heading according to the movements of the pager. And there's this nifty little faux leather strap that you can put a ring on or hook a wrist strap to. LilyGo on their web page for the T-LoRa pager list all the specifications I've just gone through, dimensions, the pinouts, and information about the currently available shield. I'm gonna bring out the shield, but you don't have to travel with that. You don't have to travel with the antenna up. Here's a bit of smoke and mirrors. There are supposedly 2 antennas. Well, only one of them works, and it's that one. This is just a dummy. And I don't mean a dummy load, I mean literally empty. Inside there's a strip antenna for, I believe, LoRa. I'm gonna do a little modification. Let's take a look at an antenna I found on Amazon. I want to place this coil antenna inside and run it to the board and make this antenna a real thing. But it ain't about the antennas. I despise. We go to Hamcation, Hamvention, and someone's got a new firmware for the venue, and we've got to reload it. Get the right cable, get the right firmware, download it, get the right channel. Oops. Oh, that's just a power cable. Why didn't I throw that out? I better find a data cable. Where's that firmware? Where did I put it on my computer? Oh no, what port am I on? Let me figure that out. How do I get this unit into DFU mode? It's a pain in the neck. I think this is a lot quicker. So when you put launcher on here, you're able to, from the SD card, launch different firmware. Launching a new firmware from the SD card is far quicker. Wouldn't it be cool if we could load up multiple firmware and just install them? Imagine you have a piece of firmware on here that you've been using for whatever reason. This is what you want it to do at this time and place. But you want to change. You want to check out Meshtastic. You can have it go to launcher, press and hold, choose the SD card, then choose the Meshtastic firmware and let that load. And there you have it. The same sort of display that you will find on the T-Deck is what you find on the T-LoRa pager. Let's send a message. New free text message on the QWERTY keyboard. Video highlights. And let's send. There it is. Let's send something back. You bet. I can't spell, but you can see. So it's got sound, it's got a microphone, it has a vibrator inside. So you've got the Meshtastic firmware in there, and your buddy says, hey man, have you checked out MeshCore? Well, no, I haven't. Press the button, go to launcher, and you can load MeshCore. And there's MeshCore running. I've watched a bunch of videos about this pager, and there are some drawbacks. I sent a friend a message on Discord, and he's pretty in the know about these things. And I said, what do you think? And he kind of LOL'd. He probably LOL'd because there are some drawbacks to this unit. But I say the pluses far outweigh the minuses. These new ESP32s pack a lot of power. I heard somebody say the other day that the ESP wasn't much to talk about. You are oh so wrong if you think that the ESP32 is anything more than a powerhouse. It may not transmit a great deal of power, but the versatility and multifunction abilities more than make up for any con. I have software here called Bruce, Chatterbox, MeshCore, the wrong one for this unit, MeshCore, the correct one for this unit, and Meshtastic. You see I have multiples. Can I place a Meshtastic with LongFast, my regular Meshtastic that I hate erasing when an event like Hamcation comes along and everybody wants to use a different firmware that won't clog up the network? I understand why. Can I use my regular Meshtastic and just add the new firmware, the event firmware, and switch back and forth? That's what I'm going to check out. Thanks for stopping by to see what I was up to today. Joining me in my incognito shenanigans at the Charlotte airport. That's one of the rabbit holes I'm currently going down. I'll make sure to do another video to follow up. Thanks for stopping by.